Well, a pleasant good afternoon and welcome to Cloud 9 on ACTN The Voice. This is 5 at 5, your top 5 stories to 5 p.m. Well, the haunting feeling of the earth moving beneath you is something none of us would wish to experience. Well, this is what several families experienced on Monday as coastal erosion wiped away their homes in Bamboo Village, Cedros, leaving 20 people homeless from 5 families. Now, around 4:30 p.m. on Monday, one home suffered cracks falling apart as the land moved. Within minutes, a domino effect took place, with 4 other houses being affected. Of the 5 homes, 4 were completely destroyed. The Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government stated that the Nspire Regional Corporation Disaster Management Unit was on site and that all families were assessed and opted to stay with their relatives until the issue was resolved. Up to late last night, the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Services, as well as the Council for the area, Shankar Tiloksing, were on site to monitor the situation in efforts to ensure the safety of the villagers. In other news at this time, well, a Canupia man who set up fake social media profiles to entrap young women and pursue a career in modeling, well, is now on the other side of the camera, getting his mugshots taken. He appeared before a Tunapuna magistrate today, charged with 1 count of indecent assault and 1 count of grievous sexual assault. Christopher Bernard, a.k.a. Kyle Romaya, 28 of Diet Trace, Canupia, was charged by PC Lyndon Brown of the Central Division Major Crimes Unit on Monday, 26 February, after being arrested at his home on Thursday, 22nd. Now, an 18-year-old woman alleges that on Monday, 20th, she responded to an advertisement on Facebook, reportedly from an international modeling agency, about a paid photo shoot. On Tuesday, 21st, she met with a man claiming to be a photographer for the agency, who took her to Core River, Tacarigua, where he allegedly sexually assaulted her. Bernard was subsequently arrested at his home 2 days later by officers of the Major Crimes Unit. Now, investigations were supervised by Superintendent Inraj Nalram, ASP Richard Smith, Inspector Marlon Alexander, and Corporal Peter Spear, all of the Central Division Major Crimes Unit. Well, now it's his time to say cheese. Well, in other news, Public Utilities Minister Robert Lee Hunt has come out to quell the noise over reports that the government plans to send home workers of the Water and Sewage Authority, calling the decision premature at this time. He was responding at statements made by the PSA President Watson Duke and the NUGFW President General James Lambert on Monday. The PSA and the NUGFW held a joint media conference, saying it totally rejected the minister's 2017 statement that WASA was overstaffed by over 2,000 workers. Lambert said the statement was vacuous, unsupported, unfounded, and totally unscientific. In response to the union, Minister Lee Hunt stood firm on his position, however, that WASA has a revenue expenditure imbalance, with expenditure amounting to 3.5 times the revenue it generates. The minister said, given the country's current financial position, it cannot be business as usual. According to Minister Lee Hunt, WASA's present labor force is 5,151. He said overtime costs amount to approximately $200 million, while staff benefits also amount to $200 million, with a similar amount being spent on contract labor. He also noted that consideration to downsize staff came long before the PN administration, as between 2012 and 2015, over 2,000 employees received visa packages offered by WASA, which cost the state close to $400 million, financed by a loan which the country is still repaying. According to Lee Hunt, the current staff levels are back to where they were prior to the visa offer, and said no organization can continue on that financial trajectory. The public minister reiterated his commitment to dialogue with all stakeholders and said he welcomes the opportunity to meet with the unions, as he has done with the OWTU in the case of TN Tech, with the view of exploring options for increasing efficiencies. Well, in some, sport news and some cricket, lovely cricket. Let's keep our boys in our prayers, shall we? As Afghanistan laid down a marker ahead of 2019 World Cup qualifying as fast bowler Dawlat Zadran took a hat-trick in a comfortable warm-up victory over the West Indies in Harare on Tuesday. The Asian side dominated the match, which was reduced to 35 overs a side to win by 29 runs. World Cup qualifiers run from March 4, 2015 in Zimbabwe. After rain ensured a shorter game than expected, Galbian Nahib struck a 38-ball 48 after coming in at number 10 to guide Afghanistan to a 163 for 9, setting 2-time World Cup winners West Indies 140 to win on DLS. Star batsman Chris Gale fell for only 9 in the Windies' reply before Zadran claimed the wickets of Shimron Helpner, Rovman Powell, and Carlos Brathwaite in successive deliveries. Teenage leg spinner Rashid Khan, captaining Afghanistan in the absence of the injured Asghar Stankoly, wrapped up the impressive win with figures of 2-7 in 3 to 4 overs. Leave it at that. In international news now, it is being reported that women are being sexually exploited by local men delivering aid on behalf of the United Nations and international charities inside Syria. Humanitarian workers told the BBC that so-called local councils in areas such as Dara and Conchitra would offer women extra bags of grain and lifts home in return for sex, or they would refuse to give any food at all. The UN said it was aware of the allegations and has taken action to improve protection against exploitation. We have this report from the BBC.
So they were withholding the aid that had been delivered and then using these women for sex. This was a range of women. There were women of different ages in the group. Some had experienced it themselves. Some were very distraught. I remember one woman crying in the room. She was very upset about what she had experienced, and it clearly had quite a deep impact on her. Women and girls need to be protected when they are trying to receive food and soap and basic items to live. The last thing you need is a man who you're supposed to trust and be supposed to receive aid from, then asking you to have sex with him and withholding that aid from you. It was so endemic that they couldn't actually go without being stigmatized. It was assumed that if you go to these distributions that you will have performed some kind of sexual act in return for aid. This issue in southern Syria is a really good example of the way in which sexual exploitation and abuse of women and girls has been ignored. It's been known about and it's been ignored for 7 years. This war is 7 years old. We received first reports that that I knew about anyway in 2015. It's now 2018. How many women and girls have suffered during that time because of the lack of care for women and girls in southern Syria, and in fact in every humanitarian context? The UN and the system as it currently stands have chosen for women's bodies to be sacrificed. Somewhere there has been a decision made that it is okay for women's bodies to continue to be used, abused, violated, in order for aid to be delivered to a larger group of people.
All right, now that international story there actually comes on the heels of the murder attempted suicide that took place yesterday. And I'm going to go straight into it because I have some very special guests joining me in just a few minutes. So I want to touch on this quickly. We all know of what happened in Sandy Grande where the mother of 5 was killed yesterday. And people would have been posting several posts from her, or reposting rather, of her crying out more or less on social media. But this is my issue with these tragedies in our response to it. No, let me don't say response, because response means there's a thought process. We react to it. It's a big difference, right? So we go through what I call the 9-day syndrome in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. So we get all angry and upset and emotional for 9 days, and then after that 9 days is poof, smoke. Like like we forgot what happened. And we go back into our cocoon, and then life goes on as usual. She got killed yesterday, Friday, we partying Saturday, we drunk Sunday. Nice? Good. One thing you have to understand, when we go back into our cocoon, if we understand how nature works, the cocoon is for a time period. There's a window period, a time that they go into cocoon to come out, blossom, and mature, as the case may be. If you're going into a cocoon, it is for a time period. People tend to go into a cocoon and they want to stay there. And we don't grow, we don't mature, we don't blossom. And if we really want to see change and we really want to protect the woman in this country, then we need to grow in our thinking, in our mindset, how we see things. And that's the only way Trinidad and Tobago can blossom further out of this dark place that we're in, or this dark cocoon that we want to stay in. So it's all good to raise our voices now and express how angry we are and express how disgusted. This is not the first that we've experienced in this country. And trust me, it's not going to be the last, because our mindset has not changed. It's not about making noise. It's about making one sound. United for a cause. How are we going to deal with it? How are we going to empower women to leave these abusive relationships? What advice? What are we doing? Are we just stirring up emotions? The heart can't control the head. It all works out, because we get very scattered by emotions. There's a lot more we can do, but as I said, we get all angry and then we go back to our lives. We don't take the time to truly invest in these. We were posting all the posts before. Okay. I asked myself the question, what was done before? Now, there are those, of course, many who would not have known her, but there are those who would have. What was done before? What was happening? And this is not just about, this is about a community level. Because I know many instances, people will know of abuse, whether it's against a woman or a child, and they will say nothing in a community. Nothing. They go on the phone, oh, you know she getting it. They would say nothing. And they would shush in the little point. And kudos to those who help, but a lot they don't. And when something happens, they're the first one to go on social media and say, it's so sad and horrifying, and what the government doing about it, and this and that. And to close on this topic quickly, it's not about what the government is doing about it. Made the point time and time again. We are all part of the system. If the system has failed women, and the system has failed children, and even in some cases, the system has failed men, the authority figures are not just those who are in parliament. The authority figures are those in the homes, those in our NGOs, in our communities, our social groups. All of us have a particular part of it. So let's get past the 9-day syndrome if we can, and truly spend time studying these things, how we could truly impact the lives of our women and our children in Trinidad and Tobago, because the nonsense has to stop. All right? So interestingly enough, though, our topic today is about women, but from a different perspective, right? It's about the health of women. And for those who knew me for many years now, that's something very close to my heart. And I will tell my guests why when we come back from the break. Yeah, from all the way from the U.S. From the U.S.? Where in the U.S. you're from? Where in the U.S. you're from? Huh? Atlanta. Yes. All the way from Atlanta. They're joining us today on Cloud 9. We'll be right back.
But it's okay, because I got my own grace. I got my own grace. I don't need yours. I got my own. And I will not waste the grace of this day. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I refuse to leave any grace misappropriated.
You're now changing your question.
What I would say, Steve, is this.
My first question was, and roll back the tape.
I made my debut for Crystal Palace against Tottenham Hotspur.
My responsibility was to get the ball and make things happen offensively.
In all the time we've played together, I've always been the decoy. Welcome to Field of Dreams on ACTN. My name is Steve David, and I'm your host.
Welcome to the new season of Football 101. I am your host, Joshua De Matos.
Well, it's time for your weekly football news update. I love you, Messi.
Unfortunately, hey, kiss the badge, kiss the badge. Oh,
What's that?
Welcome to this edition of the interview, and as you can see, I'm not alone on the set. I have Marcus, a Liverpool fan, and I have Shakir.
Whoa, na 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 na, yeah, Yo, this is J Prince, and you're looking at ACTN, The Voice. Stay locked. The blood of Jesus, oh, yeah, break every chain. Hey, the blood of Jesus, break every chain. The blood of Jesus, break every chain. The blood of Jesus, break every chain. The blood of Jesus, break every chain.
Good evening, Trinidad. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
And if you will have the faith to go up, bring down, and build, this is what the Lord Almighty says: I am with you. And God is sending His word to you today, saying that the storm that I brought you through was to check your foundation. Don't waste your opportunity weeping over what you didn't do. Let's get building. We've got a kingdom to build, people. Let's get building. Now is the time.
You're watching ACTN, The Voice. Connect with ACTN The Voice on Facebook or Instagram at ACTN The Voice.
Good evening, Trinidad. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
And if you will have the faith to go up, bring down, and build, this is what the Lord Almighty says: I am with you. And God is sending His word to you today, saying that the storm that I brought you through was to check your foundation. Don't waste your opportunity weeping over what you didn't do. Let's get building. We've got a kingdom to build, people. Let's get building. Now is the time.
You're watching ACTN, The Voice. Connect with ACTN The Voice on Facebook or Instagram at ACTN The Voice. You're watching ACTN The Voice.
All right, and welcome back to Cloud 9 on ACTN The Voice. We now go to our Let's Chat segment. Introduce our very special guest for this evening. Let's go. I've never had an easier task of introducing two guests at one time, so I don't have to remember their names because it's the same name. Let me welcome to you at this time, all the way from Atlanta. Is Atlanta, Georgia? Atlanta, Georgia, right? Get this, right? Coleman and Crump. You know, anyway. So what I need to find out now, gentlemen, who is Coleman? Good. So, Mr. Coleman, the co-founder of Global Director of Sales of Nspire Network, correct?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Crump, I didn't say Trump, right?
No.
Because I watch me, I think the eyes and piercing through the cameras already. Crump. Okay? Nice. Co-founder, Director of Training and Field Development of the same organization. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago. You all are here to promote something that's very, very close to my heart and very close to the people of TNT. I'll tell you why. Several years ago, hosted a show called Medical Matters, and because of the response of one guest we had on the show, Dr. Shireen Kalu, we were bombarded with calls from women more than men. Men have an issue when it comes to their health. We know that, right? They sometimes clam up, they don't want to check them. But women, they want to know. And we then developed a program called Women's Wednesday. And one thing that I've learned over the years in really listening to women speak about their health, we have to understand that women are incubators. And when you understand the concept of incubators in terms of their whole life, an incubator is something that you must take care of, and it must be always well sanitized and always. So you understand a woman's body, you understand the importance of it in terms of life and health and procreation. And you all are here in Trinidad and Tobago to promote a very important initiative in women's health. I want to really congratulate you all on coming to Trinidad and promoting it. But first, Nspire. Now it is spelled Nspire.
Yes, sir.
Nspire. Yeah, so very interesting. Tell us about the vision behind the name.
So the vision behind the name is to inspire men, women, and children all over the world. And we plan to do that through mission-driven products, mission-driven causes, and particularly now we know that's an awareness campaign that we launched to educate men, women, and children on the harmful and sometimes deadly side effects of traditional tampons and sanitary napkins.
And one of the other things with Nspire, we want the listeners to know is that you notice there's no I there, because in Nspire there's no I. We're a team, we're a family. So we decided to spell the word Nspire with no I in terms of naming the company and the corporation, because we're one unit. We move together.
Very interesting. Now, in terms of Trinidad and Tobago, why did you all decide to come to our country to promote this event?
Well, there was a phenomenal gentleman. We had the privilege of meeting Mr. Carlisle Holder over in the United States, and he knew a wonderful young lady over here, Rachel, who's been a great connector to your country. And we found out that what we deal with in terms of our Now We Know campaign, it's a global matter, because obviously wherever you have a woman, they have the potential challenge of what's out there in the tampons and sanitary napkins that's on the shelves. So not only did my partners and I decide to make a decision to bring the awareness, but we also help create a solution to the problem as well, to offer a better alternative than what's sitting on the shelves currently for our women.
Now, this whole issue of tampons, sanitary napkins, something that's not new. We've been here, but for some reason, it continues to be a problem that we grapple with in the world today. Still millions of dollars being made off of these products. Why has it been such a challenge, generally speaking?
Well, one of the reasons it's been a challenge is because of the lack of education. And that's why we're so proud of the Now We Know campaign, because it's a platform for us to educate, not just women. Because as men, our responsibility is to provide and protect. And it's hard to fight something that you can't see. And so if you don't know some of the potential challenges that could be caused by these products, then how could you help, you know, your daughter or your mom or your sister or your niece? So we believe the biggest challenge right now is education, and which is our focus.
And I really appreciate that, because I think sometimes we underestimate the role of a woman in our society, in our world today. You know, we become so male-centered, and so in terms of the man as the head of the household, and the man. But at the end of the day, the man came from a woman.
Yes.
So if we don't really truly embrace that, then therefore we're not able to actually have a continuation of the human race, and that's how serious it is, right? How long have you been here thus far in terms of Trinidad? We all came in when?
We got here yesterday.
And in terms of your discussions, who have you met with so far? What have you been hearing so far?
We've been meeting with several clergy here. We have some bishops, yesterday businessmen, promoters, different individuals in the customs arena. We had a phenomenal meeting last night at our hotel, and they had a nice banquet set up for us. So that way we can bring everybody on the same page. We had a phenomenal gathering of business owners today, where there was some Q&A. It was some, clearing the air, wanting to know what's going to be the mission, what's going to be the vision. We had some logistic people, some IT people there. So it was a phenomenal meeting in terms of the ground floor planning of launching this particular product and campaign in Trinidad and Tobago.
So this is not going to be a one-off thing. This is going to be something continuous that's going to be happening in Trinidad and Tobago, I gather, from your being here.
Yes, sir. So this was more of an investigative trip. Before we came to Trinidad with our agenda, we wanted to know how we could better serve. You know, and the business model that we have, several companies have come before us. We did not want to make the same mistakes. And
tell us about this business model that you've brought to our shores. Let's hear more about it.
So along with the mission, we also want to impact Trinidad, Port of Spain, and Tobago. We want to impact the economy as well. And you're looking at a soon-to-be trillion-dollar industry, especially, with the millennials, who are the soon-to-be largest population on the planet. And when you look at some of the traditional companies out there in this industry, not only are they not providing the best type of product for consumers, they're making a fortune not doing it. Right. And so we want to provide a healthier alternative, but also provide an option for those who are, business savvy or first-time entrepreneurs, businessmen and women like yourself, who just simply say, you know what, this makes sense. Not only can I get the word out, but I can also become profitable from a perpetual standpoint, because this is such a residual product.
Tell me more about the product itself.
Well, the product itself, and actually, if time permits, we have a demonstration here that we do. What we do is we do a side-by-side comparison to what's on the shelves and our particular product. And that's why the individuals that saw it last night, because it's one thing, it sounds like anything else, a sanitary napkin. I know about those. No. When individuals see our demonstration, they're blown away, because we do an absorbency test. We do a test with 2 cups of water, and I was totally absorbed. We flip the cup over, and we literally turn the liquid to a solid. So it's almost sort of like a magic show for people. They're blown away by the concept and what it is that we do, and that shows right there our separation. And that's one thing we pride ourselves on, is our demonstration. Because when a person sees the demo, they get the vision. There were individuals that came last night, and they came back to the meeting today, and they honestly told us, they'd say, look, if I wouldn't have saw that demo, I probably wouldn't have come today, because they thought it was any other product that's on the shelf. I know about sanitary napkins. I have a daughter, but when they were able to see the demo, they saw the distance that we have between ourselves and the competitors out there.
Before we get to the demo, we have to take a break and just kind of set and see how it works. Tell us about the pros and cons of, as I mentioned before, that we've heard of some of the disadvantages of some of these products, the dangers as well, the health factors, the health risk. But you are saying with your product, these things will be eliminated, basically.
Well, we're not going to eliminate. We're into more preventative.
Okay, understood.
And so we don't make any claims to heal or mitigate any type of ailment.
But prevent.
However, if you go online and you type in under WebMD, which is the most respected website for doctors and you type in negative side effects of tampons and sanitary napkins, you're going to get articles and articles for a lot of the challenges, you know, that our women and children are having because of the use of these products.
And how and exactly what they're made out of and all of that. Yeah.
Exactly. And you mentioned about a woman's reproductive system. Well, in the United States of America, there's more than 600,000 hysterectomies performed every single year. 70% of those hysterectomies are African American women. And so we see this as an epidemic. If you do your own due diligence, some studies have shown that tampons and sanitary napkins in some instances have been causes for some of these challenges.
So you're providing a safer option.
We're providing a safer option, yes sir.
Understood. All right, what we're going to do, we're going to have a very short break. We're going to try and see if we can set this demonstration up as best as we can. And then we're going to probably have a quick break again to bring on another guest from the group as we continue this very interesting program right here on women's health. Yes, this is a warning, but also a solution to many of our problems. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Good evening, Trinidad. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACTN. It's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
And if you will have the faith to go up, bring down, and build, this is what the Lord Almighty says: I am with you. And God is sending His word to you today, saying that the storm that I brought you through was to check your foundation. Don't waste your opportunity weeping over what you didn't do. Let's get building. We've got a kingdom to build, people. Let's get building. Now is the time.
You're watching ACTN, The Voice. Connect with ACTN The Voice on Facebook or Instagram at ACTN The Voice.
Good evening, Trinidad. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACTN. It's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
And if you will have the faith to go up, bring down, and build, this is what the Lord Almighty says: I am with you. And God is sending His word to you today, saying that the storm that I brought you through was to check your foundation. Don't waste your opportunity weeping over what you didn't do. Let's get building. We've got a kingdom to build, people. Let's get building. Now is the time.
You're watching ACTN, The Voice.
All right, welcome back. So Demon left the set. Hold on. Demon, wait, I got this. Demon Coleman, right? Yes. Yes, good. Then when Coleman left the set, then when Crump is here. Right. And we have joining him. And before I go any further, I want to say to all the men out there, these are two real men that were here. There's some men afraid to go and buy tampons and stuff. Come on. Be confident in who you are as a man.
That's right.
Anyway, so we move on. We now have on set with another member of the team. It's a very large team. Now, get his name properly. Rachel Guzman DeVloot. Nice. So we're going to have a demonstration here now, and I will let you all take it away.
Okay. One of the things we do, as we spoke about before the break, as you can see, it's on 75 milliliters. I want you to be able to see that. If your leaders can see, your listeners, followers, 75 milliliters. We're going to take it on a thinner, smaller pad, which is ours.
And it's actually called Cherish.
Cherish.
It's Cherish.
Cherish is the name of the product. And what we do is we're going to put 75 milliliters here. Okay, so this is indicative of a woman's flow throughout the day, because we found out from many of the doctors that we've been associating with that many women, when they're having their feminine flow, they give off anywhere from 15 to 50 milliliters.
I like that term.
But we did
the feminine flow.
75. Now on a competitor, what I'm going to do is put 50. So I'm going to help this guy out and I want you to validate it.
I'm going to validate. Hold on.
Sure we have 50.
All right.
So I put 25 more in this one.
Okay, so it's 50. All right.
All right, it's 50.
So yours, you put 75. That's okay. I'm gonna,
50.
This is the competitor.
This is the competitor.
That could be
so I'm going to pour the entire 50 over here, right? And this right here is the big issue that many of our women face. Obviously, what we all expecting to happen is about to happen. And I could barely touch this, and you can see. This is the issue here. So when women are coughing, when they're laughing, when they're standing up, their flow is flowing. Their bodies was designed so that the flow can escape. But what's taking place now, because of the Sanitary Napkins poor absorbency system, when our women sit back down, everything that went out is now going back in.
Which is dangerous.
Very dangerous. So when you talk about their body being 98.6 degrees, and you have all the factors of the fluids of their body, then you have chemical makeup of the products that's on the shelf. Now you literally have basically a chemical soup cooking back to our women. And it's a danger zone. So it's basically a matter of time before a woman would eventually begin to face a challenge.
And then the thing is, I guess we could discuss this in more detail. What happens when you realize women go through so much different challenges as the years go on? They wonder, well, what happened? I've been taking care of myself all these years.
That's right.
Not knowing it may have contributed to.
Absolutely. And then our daughters take our product, and as you can see, I'm pressing, putting a little pressure. You ready?
He's pressing. He's pressing.
It's dry. Yes. It's dry.
It's totally dry.
Totally dry.
After 75 milliliters on a smaller, thinner pad.
Let me examine.
And as he's examining, I'm getting this set up. Examine.
Yes.
No, for real.
But then here's where it gets funny. This is really going to take you over the top. I have 2 cups of water here. This cup has the least amount of water. This one has the most. If I take their absorbency systems, and I'm going to place it in here, in the cup that has the least.
That's from the
competitor.
Right.
As you can see, it's nothing more than a trash bag. So now it's totally locked in. All of this process is locked into our women. But then when you take our product, right here, the Cherish, okay, we also have a negative ion strip in ours, which is infused with nano silver. It helps with women's pain. It helps with women's cramp. It helps with the smell, the aroma, all of these factors. If the viewers do their own independent research on negative ions, they'll discover the natural benefits that it have to the human body.
Amazing.
That's placed in there. And now once you take out our absorbency system, because we did theirs, remember? How many milliliters did we pour?
People are commenting on Facebook. One lady saying his response is amazing.
Okay, but hold on here. 75 milliliters. 75 over here. But I want you to see something real quickly. Number one, I want you to take a look at our absorbency system. It has holes in it because we believe in breathability for our women. Okay. But if you notice, on this product, they had dye, that blue dye. So when this dye begins to fade, it gets into our women's bloodstream. But then what ours, our exterior is still porous, unlike the trash bag. And basically, if you just do that, it comes apart. And we also have soft cotton fibers in it. But here's what your listeners, viewers need to see. Obviously, there's no absorbent in the thicker, longer pad after basically 10 hours, right?
It's still there.
Okay, 50 milliliters. 75 milliliters on our pad, more water, and you can't get a drop out of here. Nothing. No, I'm going to do a favor for you, for the camera. We've turned the liquid to a solid.
Looks like a snow cone.
And it's
minus the syrup.
And it's nice and cool, so it can cool a woman's body off because the temperature is running. That's what it's done to the water. Totally absorbed it. So that's what it does as a woman flowing to keep her dry.
Yes, Miss Tony, restricted. I'm totally in shock. Yes, I am.
And this is the product that's coming.
Amazing. I think what put it back in the cup. Good. I think what's really amazing to me is the level of detail that you all took to make this product to reduce infections. You really did your studies. I mean, we're here to see it for ourselves. And that's the point, because you hear about, like in this country in particular, fibroids and in particular, and we deal with so many issues in this country with women, and many times they ask themselves, what did I do wrong? What happened? And it may have very well contributed, to what we're seeing here today.
Well, I'm so happy to partner with Ms. Rachel. She's formulating some training criteria and curriculum for the country. She's helping us launch this in a major way, giving us guidance in terms of the community and the success that we're going to have. And she's a big reason for us.
Can you tell us how you got involved? And I mean, what can we expect in this country? Because I know a lot of women who are looking at this, from the feedback alone we're seeing here. Yes, I said like a snow cone. Yes, I did. All right, I did. Good. But please tell us how you got involved and what can we expect?
Okay. Hello, Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean region, and the wider world. Thank you for joining us. I got involved because Mr. Carlisle Holder, who was mentioned earlier, asked me to be a part of this team. And I considered, the role of the woman in society. My own experience is that after using a particular panty liner at one point in time, I noticed that I developed a heavy flow. And I had been to the doctors for years because it went from a heavy flow to menorrhagia, like the woman in the Bible with the issue of blood. And I did not know. I knew the point at which it happened, but I did not know, and the doctors did not know how to help. But nevertheless, this product spoke to my situation and my experience. And our women are so precious and often taken for granted, because the woman, in my opinion, is not just, there to be a housewife or a working mother. The woman and the girl should be treasured, should be cherished, because through a woman, we have life coming into this earth. The woman is the gateway to the earth. If you can pause and think about that. It is said that the earth is the cradle of civilization. I say it is the woman who is the cradle of civilization. And I am so happy to be a part of this project. I am so excited because what we are bringing to Trinidad and Tobago is knowledge. We as Christians know, and we as a people know that for the lack of knowledge, a people perish. And we see women suffering from menorrhagia, like I had, from fibroids, from ovarian cancer, from cysts, from so many other things, and they do not know what the root cause of it is. And we have had many testimonials where we cannot say, yes, this is a medical cure. We have had many testimonials about the benefits that women are receiving, even on our own team. Last night we heard one of our sisters say that she was scheduled for a hysterectomy, but since she had started using Cherish, and over a period of a few months, the doctor is baffled as to why her health is improving, and she no longer has to have a hysterectomy. So it is this serious. What we are going to be doing is engaging the women at large, and we are also going to work along with the Trinidad Youth Council and target the youth, and we are developing a curriculum which will inform our young people about menstrual health hygiene. Now, menstrual health, World Menstrual Health Day is coming up on May the 28th, and it is one of the targets that we have in mind to introduce this curriculum and celebrate our girls, celebrate our women, but to also transfer knowledge which can save lives and help them to be more comfortable at this time, because it is a time when, as women, we tend to be, you know, achy, suffering from cramps. So many women miss work at this time. And, you know, it's interesting that if you think of the cost to an employer or the loss of income to a household when a woman is suffering from all of these other ailments that are associated with the menstrual cycle, or as we say, the feminine flow. So we are here to cherish our women, and our product, Cherish, is designed to do just that.
I love the name of the product, and I love the example using with the issue of blood. Because what if we look at the background to that event in the Bible, you know, she would have felt rejected, she would have felt abused, she would have felt dirty. And many women, even when they go through this now, because even our people respond to it, you know, they feel those same way, and they feel as though nothing. So added to that now, when you have complications, they're thinking, I'm not worthy anymore, that I'm broken. So this is not a simple thing. And I think, you know, God would have given you, of course, inspiration to do this. But what this does, it gives women hope. It makes them feel empowered in one way or the other, because, again, I like the part about it being, you know, that whole aspect of ventilation and breathing. You have no idea how that in itself can somewhat, again, it's not about curing diseases, but it can lead to a healthier lifestyle for the woman.
That's correct.
And again, empowering them to do more, to be more active, to feel more energized. So this is truly a domino effect that can really help. But in terms of the product itself, now you're meeting with stakeholders right now and so forth. Because people are really blowing up. Facebook Live. Yes, I said snow cone. Right. But how soon?
That's why we're here now. One of the things, we're going to have a storefront here. We're going to have a storefront where individuals will be able to go in. We're going to have all type of what we call focus groups, where individuals can come out, see this demonstration live. One of the things, they can obviously get in touch with Miss Rachel. I don't know if you want to give her number out to let individuals know to contact whatever needs to be done.
Yes, because there are those who...
to be able to contact her, as she's helping. Really, she's the point person here for the entire nation currently right now, that's helping us move things into place. And we're looking to have a massive launch and be up and rock and rolling within the next 60 to 90 days at minimum.
All right, so so the product itself would, I know there's protocol and certain of course,
right here. So it won't be coming from the U.S. It's going to come straight from our manufacturer to Trinidad, because we want you guys to be right on point in receiving it and being able to access it immediately.
Wow.
And at some of the events we have going on, we have product there. So if individuals can get out or get in contact with Ms. Rachel, they can see it live and possibly get their hands on some while we.
So you will actually have products here, right?
Oh yes, we're here at the events for the next 2 days. Yes, right. Sampling, selling. Yes.
Free samples.
Free samples.
Free samples, and they can WhatsApp me.
Go ahead.
What's your 748-6211.
I'll repeat that number. 748-6211. That's 748-6211 to contact Ms. Rachel Guzman DeVlut. Right? Just making sure I get it properly. Right? you can contact her for more information. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up right here on Cloud9. This has been really an interesting program indeed. Yes, you all can call, right? We'll be right back after the short break.
But it's okay, because I got my own grace. I got my own grace. I don't need yours. I got my own. And I will not waste the grace of this day. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I refuse to leave any grace misappropriated.
You're now changing your question.
What I would say, Steve, is this.
But my first question was, and roll back that tape.
I made my debut for Crystal Palace against Tottenham Hotspur.
My responsibility was to get the ball and make things happen offensively.
In all the time we've played together, I've always been the decoy. Welcome to Field of Dreams on ACTN. My name is Steve David, and I'm your host.
Welcome to the new season of Football 101. I am your host, Joshua Matos.
Well, it's time for your weekly football news update. I love you, Messi.
Unfortunately. Hey, kiss the badge, kiss the badge. Oh.
What's that? Welcome to this edition of The Interview, and as you can see, I'm not alone on the set. I have Marcus, a Liverpool fan, and I have Shakir.
Whoa, na 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 na, yeah. Yo, this is J Prince, and you're looking at ACTN The Voice. Stay locked. The blood of Jesus, oh, yeah. Break every chain. Hey, the blood of Jesus, break every chain. The blood of Jesus, break every chain. The blood of Jesus, break every chain. The blood of Jesus, break every chain.
All right, welcome back. I really wish we had some time to take some calls because the response on social media has been amazing. Someone saying this is incredible. Someone else was saying, Miss Mark Jones, thanks a million, Rachel, plus for all you're doing. And yeah, just some personal, congrats as well. But we have a testimony here. Let's welcome at this time Prophetess Ann Fraser. Thank you for coming on the program. So quickly, tell us about your testimony using the Cherish product.
Well, yesterday afternoon I was invited to this demonstration, and seeing isn't always believing. I saw the demonstration. Yes, I was not sold yet.
Yeah, you want to try it for you. Yeah.
So I went home, and this morning I tried it, and it's phenomenal. I mean, I've tried every brand in Trinidad, literally. And I am a 50-year-old woman in menopause, so you have other challenges being at that age. But this is phenomenal. I should have known about this when I just started. This is awesome. I mean, there's no way that no woman tries this is going to ever go back to anything
You're
else.
that confident.
I'm that confident.
All right.
As confident as I am in my God.
Amen. Mr. Damon Coleman, right? Any closing remarks before I release you? So anyone you want to tell to the public, to the woman, to engage them, what would you like to say at this time?
Yes, I would encourage every woman, every man, every child that's out there listening to go to nowweknow.net. And that's NOWEWENO.net. And there they're going to watch a 5-minute demonstration like they just saw today. 5-minute video, actually. And on that video, you're going to hear various testimonials. You're going to hear from an OBGYN. You're going to hear more about our campaign. And so we're very excited. We're doing some investigative work here in Trinidad, but we're looking forward to officially launch sometime in the beginning to the end of May. And we're going to kick off our campaign with a 5K walk run, which we're very excited about. We're looking to do that at Savannah Park. Okay, the largest roundabout in the world. Okay, yeah, so very excited about that, and just very excited to get the word out. And so you'll be here for a while. We're going to be coming back.
Coming back and forth. Okay.
For a very long time.
Wow. So it's nowweknow.net, a 5-minute demonstration. And again, the name Cherish. Isn't it the old R&B song? What? Cherish? Cherish the love?
Cherish the love. We cherish our women.
Cherish our women. Cherish. And again, I like the point you keep making about inviting the men and the children, because it's a family thing.
Yes, sir.
You know, we understand how God works. It's about family. The Godhead represents family. Everything is about family. So we can't isolate ourselves as men or isolate ourselves as women, as children. It's all because it impacts everyone.
Yes.
And understand, the importance of the woman in a family. So I really want to thank the entire team. It's a large team. Yeah, plenty, right? And I want to thank as well, as we come to a close, Damon Coleman and Damon Crump, the co-founder of Global Director of Nspire, as well as the co-founder Director of Training and Field Development. I want to thank Ms. Rachel Guzman DeVloot, right?
Yes.
Properly. And Prophetess Anne Fraser and every one of the team who is here. Thank you so much for coming. Quickly, you all are going somewhere again this evening after the show. Where will you all be heading to?
Yes.
That is, we would be at the Center of Excellence this afternoon.
All right.
From 6:30.
Yes, ma'am.
6:30?
Yes.
All right, well, you all need to get going. Yeah. Right? So, is that right? Oh, it's San Fernando? Oh, where is it? First. Oh, no, it's right here. It's not so far. It's right. Don't worry.
And where are we going to be tomorrow?
We're going to be back at Center of Excellence.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Tomorrow we're going to be
she's
back.
Still in that place of amazement of the
Yes,
product.
yes.
So, yes.
I mean, this
so it's the corner of 3rd and where? Potter Street. Corner 3rd and Potter Street. That's which place again? Life for Christ Ministries, corner 3rd and Potter Street in San Fernando. And then tomorrow, the return at Center of Excellence. And thank you so very much. We've come to a close.
Thank you, Mr. Sheldon.
All the best to the product. Cherish
thank you, sir.
the love of a woman. God bless you, and thank you for joining us on Cloud9.